Yes, Frankie, I may help you. Are you judging me? You're weird. Why are you talking to a camera? Why do you look so swole? Frankie's my arm's inspiration. Look at those deltoids, bro. They're gains. Yeah. Leave a like on this video if you guys want Frankie to host the next Better You episode to share his workout, which is primarily playing with Jack, which is why he's tired right there, and eating. Damn, bro. Hey everyone, welcome to the 9th episode of my Better You Health series. I mentioned in my previous video where I talked about why I'm not making any progress during this weight loss phase, that I was taking a little step back, a little break, not only for my deload week to help my body recover, but also for a little mental and emotional break from my very challenging month of July. As you can tell though, it's September, so my little 1 week break ended up being a whole month break off for the month of August as well. There was a lot of personal things happening in my life for the month of August, so that month-long break really helped me put things into perspective. But now because of that break, I'm back and I'm even more pumped and excited than before to take on the challenge that I set for myself. But before we jump right into this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help a lot. About 85% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel yet, so that can mean that there's a lot of you guys that come back, watch my stuff but haven't subscribed yet, or there's a lot of new people out there. Hi, how you doing? So if you haven't yet, or if you're new to the channel, I hope you can consider subscribing. It really does help a lot. Please and thank you. So today I want to show you guys the results of my little experiment on using the hand method, which is how I'll be measuring out my food throughout this weight loss phase, versus what a lot of people use, including myself previously, a food tracking app that records your calories, your macronutrients that you take in, which in this case I'll be using Myfitnesspal. I'll also be talking about the pros and cons of both methods, and I'll try to be as unbiased as possible so that you guys can take this information and see which one works best for you. So basically I wanted to see how accurate using the hand method was throughout my weight loss phase versus using an app that basically does all the calculations for you, so in theory it should be more accurate. So throughout this particular day, what I did was measure out my food using the hand method, which as a review for you guys is a palm-sized portion of meat for my protein, a cupped hand portion for my starchy and complex carbohydrates, and a thumb-sized portion for my fat. Then whatever food I measured out with my hand, I got the actual weight and the volume using a measuring cup or a weighing scale, and input that information into Myfitnesspal, so that at the end of the day I could see how close one is to the other, and the results might actually surprise you just as much as it did for myself. Let's start off with the review of my daily allowances so that you guys get a gist of what I'm eating for the day. I showed you guys how to get this information for yourself, your own daily calories, your macronutrients, and your food servings to hit your goals in a previous episode of this health series. I calculated that I needed 1,900 kilocalories or calories, depending on where you're from, as my initial calories to start my goal of losing weight. From these calories, I divided them into my different macronutrients, which ended up with 160 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbohydrates, and 75 grams of fat. For the Myfitnesspal app, unfortunately, I forgot to set these specific macronutrients into that app, but you guys will still be able to see the actual calories and macronutrients I had, depending on all the food I ate and measured out. Lastly, I converted all those macronutrients to get the hand portions and my daily allowances, which leaves me with 5 palm portions of protein, 6 cup hand portions of carbohydrates, and 5 thumb portions of fat per day. I was supposed to show you guys all of the food that I ate for that day, but just for the sake of time, I'll only be using the second meal of the day as my example, which was my heaviest meal of the day, and which happens to be Japanese food, which we ordered for delivery. I think this is the best situation to show you, because you won't always be given the opportunity to have the healthiest or the most optimal food in front of you. So in this situation, I kind of showed you how I adapted and adjusted the measurements of my food so that it still helps me in my goal of weight loss. So for that meal, we had a chicken and gyudon platter, and each of us had a bowl of tantanem ramen. This of course is where it starts to get a little bit complicated, because there was a lot of food in front of me that was a mix of 2 or 3 macronutrients, such as the tantanem ramen or the sushi platter. So the way that I did it was, since there was a different variety of sushi rolls, I just took 1 piece each, so a total of 4 different sushi rolls. And since majority of it had rice, fish, and mayo, I considered those 4 pieces as 1 carbohydrate serving and 1 fat serving. The next part was a little bit easier because it was a chicken and gyudon platter. So what I did for that, for my protein portions, I did half the portion for chicken and half the portion for beef. And because both the gyudon and the chicken was marinated, I considered that whole portion of the meal as not only 1 portion of protein but also 1 portion of fat. Lastly, for the tantanem ramen, it was a pretty big bowl. I would consider it as 2 servings of carbohydrates if I ate it in 1 sitting, but because I already had 1 carbohydrate serving for that meal and I didn't want to use up half of my carbohydrate servings for the day right away, I decided to eat only half of that tantanem ramen for that sitting and then save the rest for later. So in total, that that meal adds up to 2 carbohydrate servings out of 6, 1 protein serving out of 5, and 2 fat servings out of 5 for the day. As for the measurements for Myfitnesspal, you can see it right here. Again, whatever I measured out with my hand, I measured it out with a weighing scale or a measuring cup. And again, I'm sorry if some of you were interested in seeing how I measured out all the food that I ate for that day. So for transparency, here's all the meals I had for that day on Myfitnesspal. So if you guys do want that type of video, a sort of whole day of eating style, leave a comment down below and let me know. But at the end of the day, what I consumed was 5 out of 5 protein servings, 6 out of 6 carbohydrate servings, and only 4 out of 5 of my fat servings. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, the comparisons between the hand portions and the Myfitnesspal portions might actually surprise you. According to Myfitnesspal, I hit 1,771 calories out of my 1,900 calories, and for my macronutrients, I hit 148 out of 167 grams of protein, 192 out of 190 grams of carbohydrates, and 46 out of 56 grams of fat. Going over the carbohydrates, it's okay that I went a little bit over on my grams because I didn't consume all my fat servings, so it kind of balances itself out. Now let's go into the pros and cons of both methods, which some of you might have already noticed through my example. Starting off with the things I didn't like. For the hand method, it's hard to use with mixed foods such as the sushi and the ramen. If your meal is made out of simple ingredients, you should be fine, but for most of the time, if it's complex or it's a mixture of a lot of ingredients that are part of different food groups and have different macronutrients, there is a chance that you might be over or underestimating what you're measuring, hence leading it to be a little bit inaccurate compared to Myfitnesspal. Like for example, the tantanem ramen, even though I only measured it out as carbohydrates, there's actually still other portions of fat and protein in there. So to kind of combat that, I always tend to overestimate using the hand portions. So even though there's a higher chance of me eating less than what I'm actually eating, for my specific goal of weight loss, at least I tend not to go over my allowances because that alone might hinder the progress that I'm making. For the food tracking app, on the other hand, the thing that I didn't like the most was it was so time consuming to do. It was honestly a pain to have to measure each individual food out and find each individual food item in the tracking app when I could have been spending that time relaxing and enjoying my food. Another con on the food app is that not all entries in those said apps are accurate as well. Some of them aren't even available. Just like you saw in my entry for the tantanem ramen and the special sushi rolls that I had, they didn't have those exact food items in the Myfitnesspal app, so I had to go for the next best thing. This fact may also lead you to overestimating or underestimating what you're actually taking in for the day. Of course, for the pros, you can probably tell for each method is just the opposite of the con for the other method. If that makes sense? I don't think that makes sense. Anyways, for example, where it's time consuming and a little bit complicated to use a fitness app, using the hand method is quick, simple, and easy. The hand method you could also use anywhere you are because of course your hand's attached to your body. It'll be a little bit harder to use Myfitnesspal when you're out and about, let's say at a restaurant or eating out with your friends, because they might not have a food scale or that food that you're eating might not be available on the Myfitnesspal app. But for the food tracking app, when the food is available, which usually it is, you know exactly what you're eating and you know exactly what nutrients you're getting in. Some apps like Myfitnesspal even show you more information such as your vitamins, your minerals, your saturated, unsaturated fats, your fiber, and other cool nutritional facts that you can check out for added information. So at the end of the day, which is better, using the hand portions or measuring in a tracking app? Once again, it all depends on you. I know a lot of people, some of my friends and family, who love being more exact or more accurate, weighing their food out, inputting it into the app, seeing all the numbers and their progress through a graph, without really minding the extra time and effort it has to take, which of course is perfectly fine. But for people like me, for example, I love using the hand method. Even though it's not 100% accurate, it's 100% perfect for me. As you can tell from my experiment, it's really not that bad. When I have food in front of me, I don't want to take too much time measuring and worrying about what I'm eating. I just want to sit, relax, and enjoy my meal. All I need to do is estimate the amount of food in reference to my hand, mark it off on the notes app on my phone like you see on screen, and for the rest of the meal, enjoy my food for some quality me time or with the people I love. At the end of the day, what's most important is that you choose a method that fits your time, your schedule, your personality, your habits. Stay consistent with it, keep making progress, and take the steps you need to become a better you. As for the homework for this week, maybe you can do this experiment for yourself. Compare and contrast the two methods and see which works better to hit your goals. Next week's video will be an update video on my progress. I have a new game plan because my deadline is only 2 months away, which is in November. So stay tuned to the channel if you guys want to see that. And that is it for this video. What do you guys think? Do you guys like the topic? Which method do you guys use? Leave a comment down below. I love conversing with you guys there. Follow me on Instagram at @albperalta. I'm a bit more personal there. I post stories almost every day, and I post when I have a new video coming out here on my YouTube channel, so that's one way to get notified, other than of course subscribing. Guys, it really does help a lot. Leave a like on this video if you like it, that's what the like button's for. And check out my other videos on this channel. I have more episodes of my Better You Health series. I have my travel vlogs, personal vlogs, gaming videos, sneaker reviews, Pokemon card unboxing videos, anything and everything between will be on my channel. And that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys when I see ya. Bye, guys. It's